What's up? You got your boy Dyreck, AKA Native Shades, reminding you to like and subscribe. Cause today we're gonna be talking about production. Producers, the legendary producers of our craft in hip hop. You got Just Blaze, you have Pharrell, legends, just legends in this game. But who we're gonna talk about today is none other than the mad rapper himself, D-Dot. D-Dot Andre Angeletti. And pretty much his comments on music production. Now, in an interview that he did on the Mad Hoffa show, he said something interesting. He said, you know, I could do all that chopping and flipping samples and everything like your boy Jay Dilla or your boy Premier, but back then we were concentrating on the hits. We were concentrating on making people dance, getting their butts off the seats and moving the crowd. So why is he not mentioned in the legendary conversation? He doesn't know. And that brought up an interesting topic. Why doesn't the producer that, you know, takes a cool sample, puts a drum loop underneath it, makes a hit record, get the same amount of respect as someone that slices and dices it up? I mean, MC Hammer's Can't Touch This was a mega hit. And it was just a Rick James beat with drum loop underneath it. Ice Ice Baby was one of the biggest hits of all time in hip hop history. And it was just the Queen sample with a drum loop underneath it. That's all that was needed to make those tracks legendary in our minds. So why doesn't a producer like D-Dot get the credit he deserves? I think it all comes down to rules. He broke the rules. There are rules to beat making that, you know, a lot of producers just put on themselves throughout the years. Like, you're not allowed to just take a drum loop. You can't do that. You can't take a drum loop and just put it in your beat. You have to chop it up, flip it, rearrange it, do something to that loop to make it yours. You can't just take a sample and just throw it in your beat. If you take a sample just the way it is and just put it in the beat and call it yours, other producers that get busy are gonna look at you like, you know, that was cool, but you know, you didn't really put in any work. They want you to chop up the sample, flip the sample, reverse the sample. They want you to do something to make it yours. And that's what D-Dot really wasn't doing. He was just taking a cool song from the 80s, running a drum loop underneath it and calling it the sound of the culture. And at the time it worked, but now it doesn't. To a degree, production enthusiasts want you to put in that work, make that song yours. Yes, you're taking a sample from here and a sample from there, so technically it's not yours, but they want you to make it yours. It's kind of like basketball. John Stockton, a dream teamer, a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest point guards of all time. But when he was playing, nobody really wanted to be John Stockton. They wanted to be Allen Iverson or Jason Williams. They did not want to be John Stockton. Why? Because even though he was efficient and thorough, they really appreciated the technicality and the technique that went into Allen Iverson's or Jason Williams' handle. The way that they constructed their ball handling skills to make it their own was impressive. And in my opinion, that's why D-Dot and some of those other track masters don't really get that legendary status. I mean, they got legendary production credits, but people don't look at them as like this the top of the top tier. But how about you? When you're making a beat, do you strive to make it your own? If you get a drum loop from a loop pack, do you chop it up and switch it up, or do you just use it verbatim? If you get a sample loop from a DAW library, do you flip it, reverse it, rub it down? Or do you just use it as is? Let me know in the comments section. So this is your boy Dyreck, aka Native Shades, reminding you to like and subscribe. And I'm signing off.